PlayStation and Xbox have been known to be competitors for a very, very long time. Now, some of the more recent acts by Xbox, they may be appearing to pull back from any competitor status against PlayStation as they're putting more things in more places, more so like a de facto publisher that has an ecosystem, right? That being said, whether inadvertent or not, a new battle is brewing between PlayStation and Xbox in one of the most unforeseen places, and that is the cloud. 2024, we are seeing both Xbox and PlayStation make big pushes to expand their game access to the cloud. One is doing so through a variety of games in top-notch quality. Another one is doing so through various endpoints. The question is, which strategy is going to win? I have my own personal thoughts on that. So let's talk about it. PlayStation, Xbox, in the cloud. Who wins? This is the spiel. Let's get into it. What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K of Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, and MM2K Gaming back again with another video. Before we get into this one, do us a huge favor, that like button, hit that subscribe button, and rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when we're dropping these doses. We appreciate all of y'all, straight up. All right. So we have two big initiatives that have been launched today. They involve cloud gaming, and oddly enough, they involve some rivalry in the cloud gaming space between Xbox and PlayStation. So let's explain what's going on both sides of the coin. Let's talk about the ramifications here, and let me give you my thoughts on which one will be the most impactful. First and foremost, let's go to the stories. All right, let's start here. And now let's make that bigger. All right. Shout out to our site, clouddoses.com. We have a great story on the PlayStation side where they have the PlayStation Portal introduces cloud streaming beta for PlayStation 5 games. And the story reads, Sony is taking their next cloud gaming step with a new system update for the PlayStation Portal, introducing cloud streaming beta for select PlayStation 5 titles. This new feature, available exclusively for PlayStation Plus Premier members, marks a significant expansion in PlayStation's cloud gaming offerings. The update, rolling out starting today, includes exciting features for those who own the PlayStation Portal and are eager to experience cloud streaming without a PlayStation 5 console. Premium members will be able to stream a selection of over 120 PS5 games from the PlayStation Plus game catalog directly to the PlayStation Portal, such as Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Ratchet & Clank, and Rift Apart, and Monster Hunter. The key features are streaming quality will be up to 180, 60 frames per second, DualSense controller. You'll be able to enjoy those features in the games. The PlayStation Plus cloud storage is available. So that's what's going on the PlayStation side in a nutshell. PlayStation is pushing forward through something that was rumored about them utilizing cloud gaming through the Portal. And even though the Portal sold well, that was one of the criticisms of the Portal. I had it myself. I was like, what's going on here? Why ain't this thing, doing cloud gaming out of the bat? And there were other people that told me on Twitter, look, calm down, MM2K, it's coming. And it just seems like, look, in a matter of, just moments, we're finally here. Okay. Now, that's what's going on the PlayStation side. Portal, cloud gaming on the Portal is in a beta phase. It's being enacted. 120 games will be available. You get all the haptic feedback stuff, access to cloud gaming. You got to be on PlayStation Premium in order to experience this as well. And you get to play your Portal games. You get to play these games that have been enacted in this beta wherever cloud gaming may be available for you via the Portal. All right, now let's go here And let's check out the official story from Xbox Wire. It says, stream your own game with Xbox Cloud Gaming that's in beta. It says, our mission is to bring more games to more people around the world across devices. We believe gaming should be easy to access and available for all players, no matter what device you choose to play with. That's why we're dedicated to making great games available across consoles, PCs, and with cloud gaming. Today, millions of Game Pass Ultimate members are enjoying Xbox Cloud Gaming to play top titles from the Xbox Game Pass catalog on various devices. We've also heard your excitement about having more flexibility to stream games you own beyond the Game Pass catalog. Starting today, I'm excited to announce that we're allowing Game Pass Ultimate members to stream select games they own through TVs and browsers on supported devices like smartphones, PCs, and tablets in all 28 countries where Xbox Cloud Gaming beta is available. This is just the beginning. Next year, we're excited to bring this feature of Xbox consoles on and the Xbox app on Windows. And there's 50 games available, right? And some of these games aren't just sneeze at. There's Baldur's Gate 3. What else we got here? We got Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 14 Online, right? NBA 2K25, right? So there is a complete list here. Now, when you go to the PlayStation site and try to find 120 games, like, I don't see anything. And I put a filler out to somebody at PlayStation, like, you know, can we get a list of these games? And they haven't done so. So a little bit more transparency there from Xbox, but it's 120 games, as they tell you right here. PlayStation 5 games from over the catalog, right? And there you have it. All right. So what do we actually have here? Okay. Again, we got one side, like I said in the bumper, we got one side that their biggest push, their biggest pro is we are giving it to you on multiple inputs. So whether it's your Fire TV, whether it's your browser, whether it's your phone, wherever it's at, you know, we're not tethering this to just a few devices. We're tethering this to various endpoints, and we want you to try this out. You know, we're going to give you access anywhere we can and make it easy for you to try it out, right? The pros of the PlayStation initiative is there's more games, better quality streaming, right? And you know, both of them are limited in their library right now, right? But when you look at the catalog of PlayStation games that when this is in its full throes, that will be available versus the catalog of the Xbox games, you know, PlayStation clearly has a first party or an exclusive advantage, right? So you got one side that, you know, has potentially better catalog, more critically acclaimed catalog, better quality. Another one with more inputs, endpoints, more accessibility, more transparency in what they're doing up front right now. And, you know, again, I know I'm sound like a broken record, but, you know, accessibility is a big thing. And they're making it easier for you to try it out. Okay, so let's get to the big whoop to do. MM2K, based upon your experience, based on what's going on between PlayStation and Xbox right now, and based on the state of cloud gaming, which again, you're co-owner of the best cloud gaming site out there, which is Cloud Dosing. Here's what I have to say. And a lot of cloud gamers may not agree with this, but I think what has to happen for cloud gaming to be successful is we got to understand when it comes to getting the mainstream to adapt to what we're doing. You know, when you're in Rome, you got to do as the Romans do. There are some things that we cloud gamers prefer to mainstream gamers that we're not too bent up on, issues that are with cloud gaming that we may overlook, that a mainstream gamer wouldn't overlook. That, again, in our own bubble, makes, efforts by xCloud, by example, phenomenal. This is great, whatever. I think it's time for us, and I think this moment right here will actually help us get out of that bubble as far as understanding what's going to be successful from abroad. Here's why. This is not music. It's not TV. It's not movies. This is gaming. When it comes to gaming, first and foremost, people don't binge content. So the fact that you have to subscribe at Game Pass Ultimate at $20 a month, and then buy your game, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a more consumer friendly alternative to having to pay for a console outright. You get a little bit more flexibility and availability, but the access alone isn't key when it comes to gaming. It's key to us cloud gamers. But when I sit there and I tell the average mainstream gamer, hey, look, man, you can flip here and flip there and flip there and flip, that alone isn't going to do it. And I think we look at these accessibility attempts by Microsoft and Xbox, and we just automatically assume that because it gets us makes us jump out of our shoes and socks, that the mainstream feels that way. No, they don't. It's an additive to them. Because right now they are not in the mind state of, I got a game here, I got a game there, I got a game there. The mainstream is not like that right now. Now, as some of these younger gamers get older, that might be their thing. But who's to say by the time they are predominant in the gaming space that PlayStation isn't in more endpoints, or even Nintendo isn't in more endpoints. You know what I mean? So being in more endpoints right now, that can't be your creme de la creme. Your creme de la creme has to be, look, in order for me to accept this, I cannot sacrifice the atypical things that I would get from the atypical gaming experience. Now, both platforms at this pace are only in their beta phase. They don't give you access to all your games. So one really doesn't have that much of an advantage over the other. They're both beta and they're both rolling it out. But here's where you start seeing who's likely to win in this effort for the mainstream. It's performance. Again, this is not music. It's not movies, not TV. I cannot buy a console and get said performance and then go play this stuff on the cloud and then it's significantly worse. It's not going to work with mainstream gamers. The latency can't be too bad. The visuals can't be too bad. We can't, in the cloud gaming space, say, hold on, whoa. It's not too bad for me because you don't represent the mainstream. We're forward thinkers as cloud gamers. Absolutely, yes. But we don't make up the volume. And so that's Xbox's problem, is that their creme de la creme is access. It's not quality. Look, you're already at a handicap because PlayStation has the better games. That's not subjective, that's objective. Why do I say it's objective and not subjective? Because when you look at the average gamer scores from actual gamers, PlayStation games score better. They get played more. That's an objective fact. PlayStation has the better game. And when I mean better, I mean the more desired, the more access games. So you're already at a disadvantage there. You have to win with quality, especially if that's your disadvantage. Number one, this belief system that you're going to find people that didn't want a game, but now we're going to want a game because it's on a Fire Stick. Like, my wife is not picking up a controller or saying, hey, baby, let me connect that controller so I can play some Assassin's Creed. No, she's going to play Fizzle Chisel Tizzle Popper on her phone, and that's it. And me as a gamer, again, why, if let's just say, for instance, I'm like, you know what? I don't want a game on Xbox because, again, I'm not a big fan of their games, or I'm not a big fan of the quality, because it can't be pricey, right? The Series S is only $300, and then you've seen it for $240. So there's not a wazoo of people that want to game that can't access $240. Plus, Microsoft did the credit on the all access thing. They made their game so accessible that accessibility was never really Xbox's problem, even from the beginning of this launch. You could own a console and just pay, what was it, like $10, maybe $20 a month? You could pay $10 a month, I believe it was, and own a Series S through the All Access program, or pay $20 or $24 a month and get an Xbox Series X. So access was never a problem for Xbox. They've just expanded it. But again, the problem is desire. So why would if I wasn't willing to get an Xbox for $10, $20 a month and buy a game there, why would I do it for the cloud that has lesser quality to it and then still buy my game? I get where, in theory, if we're in a bubble, that sounds like a great idea. But when you hit the pavement, when you talk to the mainstream gamers, it's not going to work with them. That's the problem. Another thing that I'm noticing too is that the biggest skeptics, people that this ain't even got nothing to do with Xbox, the biggest skeptics, people that I've tried to convince through NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate, because let's be honest here, NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate, as far as cloud gaming is concerned, gives you the best fidelity out there, bar none, period. The best fidelity, the best latency, bar none. And people still doubted it. And I would show people this and that, and they're like, oh, well, that's because your internet is good, or it's not going to be consistent through games. Because, and this is like a psychological barrier that they put up, because they saw what happened with Stadia. They just don't trust cloud gaming. They don't trust it because when Stadia went kaput, even though they gave everybody back their money, they said, the mainstream said, see what this cloud gaming isn't reliable. So even towards the tail end of Stadia's life cycle, when they were starting to make inroads, like there were people that was starting to warm up to it, they completely backed off from not just Stadia because it was dying, but from cloud gaming altogether because of the apprehension that closure did. And then now, speaking of the aforementioned GeForce Now Ultimate, they're capping gameplay at 100 hours. So even though you may get output through GeForce Now Ultimate, output that rivals and even beats native gaming in a lot of spaces, it's not trusted. A lot of those skeptics that maybe didn't even have the right information, but just simply weren't willing to get the right information, even GeForce Now Ultimate, that breaks that barrier. You know what I'm saying? Just simply play the games that you already own. Try it out through that. Play what you already own. You don't have to go to another ecosystem and buy a game. The game that you already own on PC, try it out. Get it at a cheap price, as long as it's available on Steam or wherever, and then just try it on GeForce. That proposal still didn't win them over. You know what's winning them over? You know what I'm seeing from the mainstream? I'm seeing people see this PlayStation Portal update, play it on cloud gaming, and they completely changed their tone. They're like, what? Hold on. I can't believe this. This is great. Skeptics, like, shout out to Reforged Gaming, one of the content creators I watch on a routine basis. I don't always agree with his takes on cloud gaming. I think it's based upon his lack of experience and some things that he may be filling in those gaps due to the inexperience. You know what I'm saying? That being said, it is what it is. Regardless of if I know the information better or not, that perception is there. And as they always say, perception is 9/10 of the law. So the perception is, no, the infrastructure is too bad. It's not going to work, even though people don't realize that to play cloud gaming has come so far since its renaissance when Stadia came out, that all you need is like the 15 megabits of second that it takes to play a decent game of Fortnite, and you can have a great time with cloud gaming. So a lot of this infrastructure conversation doesn't apply because it doesn't apply to Fortnite. People are playing Fortnite routinely all the time, and they're not saying they're having issues. So the technology so far, but again, it's about that perception. Nothing has seemed to break that perception as much as just this announcement of the PlayStation Portal. People already owning PlayStation games and just playing them on their portal through the cloud. The probability of GeForce Now Ultimate that plays better than everything, just about, or at least it plays better than everything in the cloud. GeForce Now Ultimate that plays better than everything, that leverages PC games that you can get cheap to make it a lot easier to try. Hell, even with Game Pass, PC Game Pass, you can get PC Game Pass for $12. Let's be honest. You can get a PC Game Pass code for $3 a month on one of these key sites, right? Even with the cheap entry point through PC Game Pass and the NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate, you still couldn't break that perception barrier. PlayStation Portal did. So my money is on this thing. If Sony, keeps adding games and starts adding, more of their games, their critically acclaimed games, like if I can play Stellar Blade on this thing, for crying out, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, for crying out loud, are you serious? It's going to be amazing. And again, it's coming from a trusted brand with great performance and already acclaimed lineup. I'm sorry, that trumps accessibility. If I wasn't willing at the beginning of this generation where Xbox gave you 1,000 different ways to get a console, if I wasn't willing to do that before through various consumer-friendly means, and because said performance on the consoles or said reception of the consoles was porous, why would I go through those rigors now? Why would I pay $20 a month and buy a game for something that performs even worse now? Why would I do that? This is not movies. This is not music. Performance matters in gaming. There is a small subsect of people it doesn't matter to. But for most gamers, there's a standard now. There's a reason why the average mainstream gamer, you give them, that's why they keep going up in devices. Why else, why wouldn't everybody just say, you know what, I'm gonna stick with my PlayStation 3. As graphics and performance and things get better, gamers adapt to it and say, yeah, I want the latest and greatest. Gaming is a different animal. And performance is key. Performance and quality is key. And that's what this Xbox initiative lacks. Here's what I think should happen. Let's conclude with this. As a cloud gamer, accessibility is key, and I love cloud gaming being invested into. So you may not always get it right the first time. I wish Stadia would have not, had the frail-minded leadership at ABC. It wasn't the Stadia people at all. I don't even blame the people at the level of Jack Buser or Phil Harrison. It's that ABC corporate, their wishy-washiness that you're seeing across the board that led to the demise of Stadia. So therefore, I love to see cloud gaming efforts continue. I love the fact that Xbox is staying in it. I love that, PlayStation, even though they were hush about this, they're making aggressive moves. But at the end of the day, you got to get to mainstream, man. You got to know what makes them tick. And unfortunately, Xbox has had too much difficulty in connecting to the mainstream. And they keep saying things, well, the mainstream isn't growing, the mainstream isn't growing. Look, well, then you have a problem, because Nintendo and PlayStation have no problems making money off the mainstream. And they don't have any problems growing off the mainstream. PlayStation might be having some profit margin problems. I got stuff to do with the yen and other facts. These other entities, they're fine. And then as it relates to accessibility, everybody's making investments. But if you're going to make this one of your major pillar as far as access is cloud gaming, you better be the best at it. And there's no reason why GeForce Now, PlayStation, Boosteroid, for crying out loud. And shout out to the people at Boosteroid. I love them. But Boosteroid has a better performance service than Xbox. That's unacceptable. And Boosteroid has a great service, by the way. But I'm saying that this is Microsoft. That's unacceptable. We got to understand how the mainstream ticks, or we're going to be disillusioned here. My suggestion for Xbox is to take a step back, focus on quality, and do this rollout in a way that's impactful, that gets the reaction that people gave when they saw simply one endpoint be opened up for the PlayStation. One endpoint being opened up for the PlayStation got a better and a bigger mainstream reaction than all these multiple endpoints being opened up for Xbox on games that you can now buy and own. That says a lot. And they're not even telling you the games. Perception is 9/10 of the law. When you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. I can give you 1,000 different slogans, but you better pay attention to them, or you'll fall by the wayside. PlayStation, which they shouldn't be, PlayStation is winning the mindshare game in the cloud. Microsoft has to take a step back, really refocus their leadership, everything, their efforts on quality, and do this again. They got to reboot this, I feel, or I don't want. Let me not get ahead of myself and talk like that. Just I hope everybody's learned their lesson from Stadia and they stick with this thing. But again, you got to play the game. You got to play the game as it is. You got to deal with the cards that are dealt. Perception is 9/10 of the law, and performance means something in gaming. And you're Microsoft. You got to do better than this. Period. With that said, that's it from your boy. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below, because like I always say, here's what I think. But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. They will lead you to, again, Hard Knock Digital Culture, Cloud Dosage, and MM2K Gaming. With that said, peace. Y'all have a wonderful gaming day.